Hey, what is up YouTube? It's Malorn here and I'm here with another wonderful video for you guys today. We're currently in my castle. Look how beautiful it is. It's so pretty. I made a few renovations. I had to change a few things because I really didn't like the Dragonspire arch going over this. Where is it? There it is. I don't like that. I don't know why. It doesn't match, honestly. But what I did instead is I put Headmaster Ambrose up there, and that's actually one of the things we're going to be talking about today, because I got some new housing items, some new rare ones, and we're going to be discussing those today because some of them are kind of interesting. One of them is very bland, but it's also one of the rarest items in the game, so it's like, it's kind of something you have to weigh. You know, you don't use it as decoration, you keep it because no one else has it, right? You have to weigh that. So without further ado, here we go. So obviously the first one is Headmaster Ambrose. Now you can't actually sell the Headmaster statue, and I spent about an hour farming for him. So that's him in his little fuzzy beard. He's got a little fuzzy beard. I don't know why he has the rock. I've never understood this statue. It doesn't really look like Headmaster Ambrose at all, first off. And then he's carrying a rock. I don't understand. The staff makes sense, but the rock is just weird. I think it's supposed to be the Headmaster of Dragonspire. I don't think it's actually supposed to be Headmaster Ambrose, because again, that doesn't look anything like, you know, Ambrose. Plus he kind of has that little, if you look at the little line right above his beard, like the little mustache, he kind of looks like he may just be from Dragonspire. You know, he's got that kind of evil look on his face. So I don't know. Anyways, but you can farm for him in Dragonspire. It may take, sometimes I've heard people get it on the first try. You know, it could take an hour, it could take 2 hours. The first time that I farmed for it was like a year ago, and it's been that long. And it took me forever to get it. It was so annoying, but that's the Headmaster statue. Anyways, the next thing we're going to be talking about today is the Wraith statue. Now you get the Wraith statue from Grub. Not Grub Guardian, but Grub. Literally, I think I have a, yeah, no, that's Worm Guts. Never mind. But you get him from Grub. He's in Sunken City and Wizard City. So if you go farm Grub for about an hour, you'll get the drop. It took me like 5 or 6 runs, so it wasn't an hour, but I think on average it takes about an hour to actually get it. But it's not all that rare. You know, it's not going to take you weeks of farming. And you can't sell it, so it's not like you can go onto Discord or onto, you know, Central or any of these communities, and you can't really go and buy it from someone because you can't sell it in the bazaar, and there's no other way to trade these things around. So there's that. Next one that we're going to be talking about is actually over here. Now this is the one that I was talking about that's kind of bland. It's very plain, and it is right here. And no, I'm not talking about the tower again. I'm talking about this little rock in front of it. This is called the Heavy Rock. Oh my god. Now this drops from the wind turbine. Personally, I bought it from someone, and obviously I was expecting it to be much bigger, you know, and I knew what it looked like. Like, I knew it was plain and it was kind of dull. It's a rock, right? It's very, extremely rare. It's ridiculously rare, but it's a rock. You know, it's a small, tiny little rock. I was expecting it to be a lot bigger though, but it turned out to not be that, and it's kind of agitating. But there's also like 3 other, you know, various rocks that the wind turbine drops, and they're different kinds. So, you know, there's always a chance that one of those might be a lot bigger, and I'm really hoping that there is a chance because obviously I'm trying to get all of them, but if they're all just this tiny, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with them. Like, just line them up around this tower? I mean, that's all I can think of, because I don't even know. Like, what do you even do with a rock that small? No one's even going to see that. Anyways, but there's that. The next one we're going to be talking about is right here. This right here is called the Youkais Bonsai. Now, it's not all that rare. It's a drop from Youkais in the Tree of Life. Youkais is an imp creature, so if you guys, you know, if you're into monstrology and you want to get a nice extract, you know, summon TC of him, or you can't get an expel because he is a boss, or you could get a, you know, housing guest from him as well. Just run him a few times, you can get the animus and stuff, and then you also have a chance of getting this as a drop. Now, it took me about 30 minutes to get this, so not a little bit long, but again, my chances in the game of getting drops usually, they tend to be a lot higher than most of the people that I know. Like, I'll get stuff really, really early, and my friends, they'll go on for days and weeks without getting a drop. So I tend to have a lot more luck, and that may, kind of affect. Obviously, the drop rate's not different, but my luck is. So we all kind of have our own chances with this thing, but you do have a pretty good chance of getting it. Like, you're not going to be there for days. Certain items in the game, yeah, like Malastare gear, I heard it took months for some people. I don't even know how. I want to know how many runs they were doing each day, because I was doing like 2 or 3. If you only do 1 a day, yeah, your chances are probably going to be pretty low. Because it seems like, obviously the more runs you get in a short amount of time, the more likely you are of getting the drop that you want. But not everyone's schedule allows for that. And nowadays, mine probably wouldn't either, so I can't really blame them. Anyways, but that's, why their chances are usually a lot lower. So if you just go at Youkais for like 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours at most, you should get a Youkais Bonsai. You can't sell it, you can't buy it, so if you're looking to take the easy way and go on Discord, although some things in Discord, in the trade community in general, people don't have because they're just that rare, which means you may actually just have to try and get it yourself because they're not rare items for no reason. Specifically, I'm speaking of like Grub Guardian codes, like the housing items that come from that game. They're usually ridiculously rare. So anyways, there's that. The next one that we're going to be talking about is actually inside. So I gotta fly right on over that way. Gotta go on inside my... Yeah, I moved the anniversary statue here because, like I said, I didn't like the way it looked over there. It looked really silly. So I just wanted to make sure and, move that to some place that it's actually slightly appealing to the eyeball. Just do a quick run around this way, make sure I didn't forget anything. I'm constantly adding new rare stuff to my castles because, I'm constantly searching for rare items. Whenever I hop on the game, that's like my main goal nowadays. In between updates, at least, that's what I do. When I don't have something in real life that, keeps me busy and I don't, like whenever I get home from work, if I get on the game, that's what I do. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to hit this up. I'm going to go and I'm going to get this really rare item, and then we're going to be done. And I showed the flaming demon pig statue in the last video, I think, so we can just go ahead and go inside. This item is a Grub Guardian code. It's like the elephant tower that is outside. You can also, if you want to watch my video, my last video that I uploaded, I bring the elephant tower up in that one. It's a Grub Guardian code item. It's extremely rare. And in my shop in the trade community, we're selling it. We're not actually selling the tower, but we actually have a pricing for it in case we get a second one, a copy, so that we can go ahead and sell that one off. We're selling it for 250 in power. So if we get a copy, that's the going rate for it. Oh, love Arizona. Okay, so the next one that we're going to be talking about, I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video, but it's called the Ship in a Bottle. Now, this is actually a crafted item, so anyone can get this. It is kind of a pricey crafted item if you don't, save your reagents. Because I know a lot of people, they get, diamonds and stuff, and the second that they get those diamonds, they're already selling them in the bazaar. Unless they know they have a recipe that they need them for, they immediately go and sell them. And it's ridiculous. You got to save your reagents, guys. Just a little tip for you, save your reagents. But this isn't an item you're going to see a lot in the bazaar. I bought both of these from the bazaar, but that was within like a 3-week period, and I actually just found this one right here in a castle. Bought it like 3 weeks ago. I set it down somewhere and kind of lost track of it. I do that with a lot of stuff for some reason. And then this one I just bought like yesterday, I think. So, they do get sold sometimes, but I guess it just kind of depends on, what the person is feeling. Like if they feel like they really don't need it, or they don't want it, or it's taking up too much space, you might get lucky and see it in the bazaar. I think I've mentioned this in another video. It's a potted purple pansy. I bought this today, but I have another one in that little room over there. And as for my toy monkey, I had 2, and I mentioned having two, and I showed both of them off in my last video, but I also just recently sold one of them, so I only have one right now. The one that was in this room over here is currently gone. I'm trying to find another one. Like, I saw one in the bazaar earlier today, but someone bought it before me, so there are people that, run programs and stuff that, make it easier for them to buy stuff from the bazaar, like the program or whatever it is. It's like a script, but it goes in and it picks out the item, and you don't have to do the clicking. The program kind of does it for you. Like, it'll buy the item up, and it runs really, really fast. So if there's any of the items that you're looking for available in the bazaar, it kind of automatically buys all of them, as long as your wizard has the gold, obviously. But there are, various people out there that are making these programs. They're actually really, really helpful, and I don't know, personally, I don't have a problem with them. I really don't. I didn't have a problem with, Wizard101 spoilers and what they did with the, different skins, like the retextures for the game. Obviously, KI had a problem with it. I personally didn't. As far as I'm concerned, the more add-ons and, just like mods or whatever to the game, the more of those that are available, the better the experience is. Sure, it could be hard for other people, but, maybe they should just learn how to make the, yeah. Anyways, but there are a lot of people out there that have these kind of programs, so if you do want one, you just kind of have to seek them out. They're not usually hard to find, because apparently it's not hard to make the program either, but it's just kind of like a, if you can't beat them, join them type thing. Anyways, the next one we're going to be talking about is the large table. This item is actually really rare too. I forgot where it drops. I think, if I remember right, it drops from the wind turbine as well. Don't quote me on that. I'm fairly certain it's one of the, one of those daily castle drop type things. But again, I'm not 100% sure. It is extremely rare. If you look through the bazaar, if you do see one, it's usually there's only going to be one of them, and you might want to buy it quick, or someone else might buy it out from under you. But it is a very, very rare item. Not many people know about it, which is why your chances of getting it before other people are really, really high, because it's literally it's called a large table. Most people are going to see that name and they're going to pass right over it, even if there's only one of them in the bazaar. So you kind of take advantage of the fact that the name is so plain and simple, and you manage to buy it up before anyone else. Like the heavy rock outside, I was pretty sure no one was going to buy that. I knew that trade was going to go through perfectly because the name is so plain. Most people, they'll see that and they'll be like, I don't want to buy that. That doesn't sound like something that's very valuable, right? The next thing and the last thing that we're going to be showing off in this video is called the Trifle. Now, the Trifle is another Grub Guardian code item, and it is not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's also very rare because of its Grub Guardian association. The fact that you can only obtain it through Grub Guardian kind of gives it its value. We're selling them for 100 in powers in our shop. I'm not actually selling this one, but again, if we get copies or duplicates, that's what we sell them, or that's where we sell them, and we're selling them for 100 in powers. So, that's just kind of the valuation we've given it. There's not really a guide on the valuations, but generally, if it's a Grub Guardian item, it'll be, it could be anywhere from 100 to 350 in powers, which generally means that the item is extremely rare, and if anyone actually saw it, they'd realize, they'd immediately realize its value. As long as they were into housing and stuff, most people would generally tend to notice that these items don't get sold very often. And it's usually just kind of like the way the items look, like the elephant tower outside, right? That's one of those items that when you buy it from the bazaar, and I know I've said in, previous videos that people get these items and they usually sell them because they don't realize what they have. Now, that's true in some cases, because a lot of the times people don't. They don't realize that what they have is valuable. But on the other hand, you also have the people that get these items or that see these items and they don't know what the item is. They don't know where it came from, but they're also smart enough to know that whenever they see the little number 1 next to it and the fact that they don't recognize the item at all or the name, they've never seen it in anyone's castle before, generally their mind automatically, they're like, it connects. They're like, oh, well, this is an item that it's clearly valuable, right? Like, this is a rare item. You know, I don't see it very often. I've visited all of my friends' castles. I've been to, you know, through castle tours quite a bit. You know, obviously I don't have it, and there's only one of these here, and I never see this thing in the bazaar ever. So I might want to buy this before someone else does, because clearly this has some value. You know, there's that kind of person as well. And whenever I was buying the Elephant Tower and the Trifle, that's exactly what was going through my mind. Because originally, whenever I bought them, and I've said this about the Elephant Tower too, I didn't know what I was buying. I just knew that there was only one of them. I knew that clearly it was rare because I'd never seen it before, so, you know, I might want to buy it up. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much all for the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, be sure to comment, and be sure to subscribe for more amazing videos. And I will see you guys next time. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and peace out.